So let's do GFG problem of the day. Okay. OTD zero sum subarray. Kind of a straightforward problem. Like, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You have been given an array of size n. You have to count the total number of subarrays which are having sum equal to zero. Like how we do it, this problem, we just keep track of the we want a subarray having zero sum. Sum equal to zero. What is this subarray having zero sum? Count of a subarray having zero sum. Let's forget about the count. What is the subarray which have the sum zero? If a subarray is having a sum zero, like it's a basically given array, given array which is kind of I'm iterating on this array from left to right. When can I say that this sub there is a subarray I found of having sum zero? When, for example, you see that you are keep on iterating on this and storing the sum into some one variable maybe, and then into a map also. So basically if the sum at this point is s1, okay, let's say it's not as s1, and sum at this point become s1 again. So which means that I added something like h1 was, let's say, 4, then plus 2 came, then minus 2 came, then again, then what will be the value of sum over here? Like at the sum at this point is 4, and if you do plus 2 in this, and let's say it's the array is looking something like this. There was first element was, let's say, 1, and then the second element was 3, then element was, like, this is the array. So what is the sum now? This is the running sum which I'm basically, what is the current sum of this array? So up till this point the sum is just 1, as you can see, like nothing, and then 4, and then plus 2 is equal to 6, okay? And then minus 2 is equal to, let's say, plus 2 we don't need to write, and minus 2 means it again becomes 4. So when a particular sum value is repeated, which means that between this the sum is 0. So the good thing that you don't need to tell what is the basically starting and ending point where sum is 0, like this subarray. You don't have to return the subarray having the zero sum. You have to return the count, basically, of the total subarrays having zero sum. So what is the count of subarray having zero sum in this? You can say, okay, 2 and minus 2 is the that subarray which is having zero sum. Why? Because a particular sum value which was 4 over here, it is again, like, when a particular number repeats in the sum, basically when the sum repeats, which this means that all the elements which are between this have zero sum. Like also it can happen when you have something like 0 over here. So the sum till here is 4, sum till here is also 4. If you see, like, after taking this one, sum becomes 1, after taking 3, sum becomes 4, after taking 0, sum is still 4. So which means this part is having zero sum, like just one array, right? Just one size array. So that's what you need to do. You just need to check whenever your sum is repeating, that means the you got a array having zero sum. So let's first write the code, then we will test it again. So what you need to do, int s equal to 0, map of basically int comma int, to keep track how many times this particular sum has been repeated. M of 0 plus plus, because when there is nothing in the array, still there is some 0, because like before even seeing the first element I am having sum is equal to 0 because I have not taken anything, right? So that's what something. And for int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, what will we do? Sum ko we will keep on increasing, like iterating over the array, increasing the sum. We will check if m dot count this sum has been previously existed or not. If this sum has previously existed, not I, but as if it's previously existed, then I'll say, okay, how many times this sum has come. So z plus equal to that number of times, or you can counter plus is equal to this number of times. How I can see m of s is containing how many numbers of time this sum has occurred. Otherwise I'll just do otherwise, or like even after taking this I will do like m of s plus plus, means this sum has occurred one more time. So when it occurs one more time, which means like the count of this sum is keep on increasing, and then lastly you can return the this count number c, and the c is also initially 0. And that's about it. Let's test this, and let's sum of this. Okay, 0 and array, you have to take it like arr. Okay, now A is not declared, Y is not declared. Okay, 6, 6. Yeah. Let's try to sum this up. Battery's pretty low, I guess. Yeah. Everything submitted. Now let's just run it over this test case. Why the answer is 6 in this case, right? Because this is a particular thing basically how when you need to realize like the frequency of that count also exists. So what I said, that frequency of m of 0 is equal to 1 even before starting this array. So if you see another 0, you can say, okay, I'm having another time a 0, like m of 0 is equal to 1. Like when you like, let's say if I copy paste this array and let's write it over here, and there is my keep on running sum, and sum is 0 at this place, and you will say, okay, after like before even starting the sum is 0, after this point, sum is again 0 because you added something like 0. So I'll say, okay, has this 0 occurred before? He will say, yes, this 0 had occurred before for one time. So that's why there is a 0, one subarray containing 0 sum, this array. And then you will again move forward. Then you will say, okay, again you are having something like 0. What will you add? Will you add just 1 for this? No, you will say, what is the total number of total number of times I have seen 0 before? So two times you have seen before 0 before. So that's why you will add c plus equal to 2, which means there are two new subarrays. Which two new subarray? One is just like this, other subarray is like this. So that is these two subarray having some 0, like this one 1 and this one 2, and this was already there. So the total three subarrays with 0 sum, like count has been something like 3 at this point. C is equal to 3. Then you will do something like plus 5, and when you will see 0 again, okay, no, the sum till this point will be 5, then some will become 10, then some will become something like keep on remaining 10, like it will keep on. Oh, okay, okay. When the sum is still the same, for example, I push the 10 for the first time till here, then I'll see, okay, 10 is appearing again, which means like there is particular 0. So you'll say, the what is the count of this 10 which has previously occurred? Yes, it has previously occurred. What is the count? It is 1. So you will add plus 1 for this, so 4, like which is this 4 sub array. One was this, and second was this, third was this, and fourth is like this array now. And then if you see again 10, you will say, what is the count of 10 you have seen? So count is 2 now, because you have already like increased the count of 10 in the mapping. So now it will say, okay, the count of 10 is also 2. So how many sub arrays will add more? Two sub arrays will add more, so plus 2 will become 6. That's what the answer is. And which is the two sub array? Like one is this just, and second is this just. You don't need to focus about that. You just need to say like how many times this count has occurred. That many times, like I can make it sub array, like this is also a sub array, this is also a sub array, like this part is yeah, this only 0 is one sub array. Like this 10 10 is again occurring. So because of this 10 10 pair, this 0 is coming. Because of this 10 and this one a 10 ka pair, these two zeros are occurring. So that's why I'm adding 2. And that's about it. Okay guys, bye.